You know, when I got in this business, I had no idea that it could be so evil and people could be so evil and you without you doing anything to them.
What really happened to Kut Klose? Why did they disappear after being so popular in the 90s? Was Keith Sweat's betrayal the reason behind their fall? Did he play a part in their breakup?
I mean, hey, I guess they say that's the music industry, and it's supposed to happen like that, you know.
Why did they stop making music together? What went wrong between them? Are they still friends today, or is there more to the story? Let's dive into the shocking truth behind what happened to Kut Klose.
Anytime you fire somebody or get fired, whatever way you want to look at it, you know what I'm saying? There's probably some little, animosity. It's kind of natural to have that.
Kut Klose had everything they needed to make it big. They had talent, beauty, and the backing of R&B legend Keith Sweat. The group, made up of Tabitha Duncan, Athena Cage, and LaVon Battle, should have been unstoppable. But the music industry is not always fair, and things went downhill fast. Kut Klose started strong in the 90s with their debut album, Surrender. They had big hits like I Lie and even featured on Keith Sweat's hit song, Twisted. It looked like they were on their way to becoming one of the biggest R&B groups of their time. But the music business can be ruthless, and soon things started falling apart. They had signed a 7-album deal, which should have secured their future, but instead, it turned into a nightmare. The contract they signed was a trap. They were young and excited, eager to make their mark in the industry. But they didn't fully understand what they were signing. Their lawyer, who was supposed to protect them, was actually working for the industry. He let them sign a deal that bundled their recording and publishing rights together. That meant they had no control over their own music. Even worse, they gave up their publishing rights for just $1. That's right, one single dollar. That decision cost them millions in future earnings. Tabitha Duncan often fought with Keith Sweat about their money situation, but nothing changed. The group felt like they weren't getting what they deserved. But despite all the problems, Tabitha later said, "I have no ill feelings whatsoever with Keith, none. He allowed us to have a way in this business." Even though she was frustrated, she still respected what Keith had done for them. But he played favorites, and that caused problems within the group. He focused a lot on Athena Cage, making her the star of the group. This led to jealousy and tension between the members. It didn't help that Keith took Athena on tour with him while Tabitha and LaVon were left behind. That made things even worse. Then, the group got hit with another shock. The label wanted to rebrand them as Athena Cage, featuring Kut Klose. That was a huge slap in the face to Tabitha and LaVon. They had worked just as hard as Athena, but now they were being pushed to the side. It felt like they were being erased from their own group.
Like flipped on us. Like what did we do to deserve the to be ignored? The disrespect, yes.
As if that wasn't bad enough, Keith's management allegedly tried to replace Tabitha and LaVon with new members without their permission. That was the final straw. The group couldn't take it anymore. The bond between them had been broken, and their career as a trio was over. Kut Klose was a talented girl group that had everything going for them. They had the voices, the look, and the right connections. But the music industry can be cruel, and their journey didn't end the way they had hoped. By the time their contract expired around 2003, it was too late. Their second album never came out, and the group members had to take regular jobs just to survive. They had big dreams, but the industry used them up and tossed them aside.
You know,
Keith Sweat didn't discover us. We discovered him.
Okay.
Exactly.
How?
Because we were working with a production company that was working on his album at the time.
Yep.
And so he was actually interested in another girl group.
Yep.
And I was like, take us instead.
Let's go back to the beginning and see how it all started. Kut Klose was formed in Atlanta in 1993. The group had 3 members: Tabitha Duncan from Missouri, Athena Cage from Kentucky, and LaVon Battle from Alabama. Each of them had a unique voice and background. Together, they created something special. They wanted to be as big as TLC,
I don't want no scrub. A scrub is a guy that can't get no love from me.
SWV,
I get so weak in the knees, I can hardly speak.
and other top girl groups of the 90s. Tabitha was the one who had the big idea to start a group. She grew up in a strict religious home with 14 brothers and sisters. She wanted to break free and make a name for herself in music. She moved to Atlanta with her much older boyfriend, who had connections with music legends like Babyface. This connection eventually led her to Keith Sweat, a popular R&B singer and producer. Tabitha knew she needed strong singers by her side, so she started looking. She met Athena Cage, who had already been singing background for big artists like the Isley Brothers and Amy Grant. When Athena auditioned, it was clear that she was perfect for the group. The last piece of the puzzle was LaVon Battle. She grew up singing gospel music just like her parents, who were in gospel groups. But LaVon had a rebellious side. She loved R&B. She flew to Atlanta with her manager to audition and got the final spot in the group. At first, they called themselves Nubian 3 and planned to make gospel music with an urban sound. But when Keith Sweat got involved, everything changed. He saw that they had the potential to be a sexy R&B group. He helped them switch their style, and that's how Kut Klose was born. Keith Sweat was more than just their mentor. He produced their first album, Surrender, in 1995. Their biggest hit, I Like, became a favorite on the R&B charts. They also worked closely with Keith on his song, Twisted, which became a huge hit. The group was gaining success, and it seemed like they were on their way to the top. But they couldn't release music as freely as they wanted, and their second album kept getting delayed. There were also rumors that Athena was secretly meeting with other people to replace the other 2 members. Trust within the group started to break down. By the early 2000s, it was clear that their career was in trouble. Their second album never came out, and they were stuck in a bad deal. Without new music or tours, they had no choice but to move on. Keith didn't discover Kut Klose, but he played a big part in making them famous. He signed them to his label, Kia Records, under Elektra Records, and they were ready to take over the music world. Their first big break came in 1994 when they were featured on Keith's song, Get Up On It. The song became a hit, and it gave them the exposure they needed. People started to notice them, and their career was off to a great start. They would go on to become one of the hottest new R&B groups. Everywhere you looked, you could see Kut Klose. They were on TV, on the radio, and performing live. It seemed like nothing could stop them. They even worked with Keith Sweat again on his song Twisted, which became a #1 R&B hit. But the label wanted to feature Athena as a solo artist instead of keeping Kut Klose as a group. That didn't go down well with the girls.
And who can love you like me? Who can sex you?
The group was excited when they got a chance to work with Missy Elliott. It was supposed to be the start of something big, but instead, it became a huge disappointment. The label only wanted Athena's voice on the track, which made Tabitha and LaVon feel like they didn't matter. The favoritism was too much. The constant disrespect and bad treatment led to tension among the members. Before long, things started falling apart.
I mean, hey, I guess they say that's the music industry, and it's supposed to happen like that, you know.
The music industry can be a tough place, especially for groups. There are shady deals, unfair decisions, and a lot of politics behind the scenes. Kut Klose had talent, but they were caught in a game that was set up against them from the beginning. It wasn't about their skills anymore. It was about what the label wanted. And the label wanted Athena in the spotlight, not the whole group.
The ladies in the club, not ready to get the party up. Lift your hands up, let me hear you say.
Even though things didn't work out as planned, the ladies of Kut Klose didn't just disappear. They kept working hard and found new ways to keep their dreams alive. When their contract with the label ended, each member went her own way. Tabitha, who grew up as a preacher's kid in Muskegon, Michigan, focused on fitness and acting. She is now a single mother raising 2 daughters.
Yep, I'm at the crib.
Okay, the babies are in bed because I know it's still school season and all
I was
that.
cooking dinner. I was cooking some, some steak and lobster.
She shares her fitness journey on social media, inspiring others to stay healthy. She didn't let the bad experiences in the music industry bring her down. Instead, she used them to push forward with her passions. LaVon Battle, who is from Birmingham, Alabama, turned her focus to her daughter's music career. She learned a lot from her own time in the industry and now helps guide her daughter, making sure she doesn't fall into the same traps. LaVon has kept a low profile, but she is still working behind the scenes, using her experience to help others.
You know, when I got in this business, I had no idea that it could be so evil and people could be so evil and you without you doing anything to them.
Athena Cage, the one who was always in the spotlight, also kept moving forward. She started the Athena Cage Scholarship Fund at her old school, Western Kentucky University. Her hometown, Russellville, Kentucky, even named a street after her, Athena Cage Way. That's a big honor. She has also worked as a Grammy mentor, traveling around the country to help young artists and promote music education. In 2010, Kut Klose gave their fans hope when they teased a possible comeback. Over time, Kut Klose went on a break, not making music together for almost 10 years. This break was because of problems inside the group. They had disagreements and personal issues that made it hard to stay together and keep working. The group members needed space to sort things out and figure out how to move forward. But after this long pause, the group came back together. They realized that no matter what had happened in the past, they were family and they could get through anything together. Their bond as sisters was strong enough to overcome the issues that had once torn them apart. In 2020, they made a surprise return with their song, Congratulations. This was their first new song in over 10 years. A few months later, in March 2021, they teamed up with the 90s R&B group H-Town to release Lose Control. Fans were excited, hoping this meant a full album was on the way. But after that, things went quiet again. Before this, in 2019, they had released a song called Let It Ring on iTunes. Many thought it was the start of a big comeback, but no full album ever came out. This led to another long break. Even with these setbacks, the 3 members of Kut Klose stayed close. They never gave up on their dream of making music again. To help fund a new album, Kut Klose started a GoFundMe campaign. The singers Athena Cage, LaVon Battle, and Tabitha Duncan shared exciting news on their Facebook page. They are working on a second album and they need their fans' support. In a video, the ladies looked amazing and full of energy. They wanted everyone to know that they are more than just background singers for Keith Sweat. There's a lot more that comes from Kut Klose, and you guys are about to find out, Tabitha said with excitement. She asked fans to help by donating to their GoFundMe page.
Hey, I'm Athena.
And I'm Tabitha.
And I'm LaVon.
And
we
we're
are
Kut
Kut
Klose.
Klose. And we need your support for the second album. Big time.
The group posted a message with the video, sharing their big plans. They said they are ready to record a new album and will do it independently. This means they will not have a big music company paying for everything. Instead, they are asking their fans, family, and friends to support them. They started a GoFundMe to raise money for the album. They need funds for recording studios, music producers, engineers, music videos, photography, and even hair and makeup. They also need money for travel and hotel costs while making the album.
And you guys have been so supportive after all these years of the Surrender album, and you have been telling us that, hey, we're ready to hear some new music from Kut Klose. So that's what we're trying to do, but we need you guys to pitch in and help us out.
Kut Klose is thankful to their fans who have supported them for many years. They know people have been waiting for new music, and now the time has come. The ladies are asking everyone to step up and donate whatever they can. They believe with the help of their fans, they can make this album a success. Today is the day. Let's get up on it, they wrote. If you love Kut Klose and want to hear new songs, now is the time to help. Visit their GoFundMe page and show your support. Their goal is to raise $100,000 to cover studio costs, production, and promotion. So far, they have raised only $2,600, but they are not giving up. They believe in their music and want to take control of their own career instead of waiting for a big record label.
So can we get that support, y'all? Can we get that support? I've been reading those comments now. Now, I know you want us coming. I know you want it, because then we got it for you. Yeah.
Meanwhile, Kut Klose continues to tour, reminding everyone why they were once a big name in 90s R&B. Their voices are still strong, their style is still fresh, and their passion for music has never faded. They are not just a part of Keith Sweat's past. They are a major part of R&B history. Fans are still waiting for that long-promised album, and Kut Klose is determined to deliver. Life hasn't always been easy for the group, though. One member shared the difficult loss of her mother a couple of years ago. Losing someone close is never easy, but she continues to carry her memory with her. Her mother was like a second mom to the group, always offering advice and support. It's been hard, but she uses that pain to keep pushing forward, making sure to be the best mother and role model she can be for her daughters. For Kut Klose faced one of the biggest challenges was being closely linked to their mentor, Keith Sweat. Keith was already a famous artist, and many people knew him more than Kut Klose. Because of this, it was hard for Kut Klose to stand out on their own. When people think of Keith Sweat, they often forget about the group. This made it difficult for them to build their own identity in the R&B world. They were always seen as Keith Sweat's group, which limited their chance to grow and be recognized for their own unique talents. Another major challenge for Kut Klose was their limited discography. A discography is the list of all the music an artist has released. And unfortunately, Kut Klose only put out one studio album. With just one album, it was hard for the group to stay in the spotlight. The music world is competitive, and many artists release multiple albums to keep their name out there. But because Kut Klose didn't have enough music to keep people interested, their time in the spotlight was short. Having only one album made it hard for them to grow as artists and keep up with other groups who were constantly releasing new songs. In the music business, it takes a lot of effort to stay relevant and be remembered. For Kut Klose, being tied too closely to Keith Sweat and not having enough music to keep their name in the conversation made it hard for them to establish themselves. These challenges led to their quick rise and fall in the music scene, leaving fans wondering what could have been.
I give the world to you, oh my darling.
In July 2021, Keith Sweat appeared on the Verzuz stage, performing alongside Bobby Brown. Fans were really excited to see this event. They were hoping that Sweat would bring out his group Kut Klose for a special reunion performance. The group had worked with Sweat in the past and had great success together. So, many people thought it would be a perfect moment for them to come back together on stage. Fans were ready to see the magic happen, but things did not go as expected. To everyone's surprise, Kut Klose was not invited to join the performance. Fans couldn't believe it when the group didn't show up. They had been expecting to see them, and they were disappointed when they didn't. The fans took to social media to express their confusion. They wondered why Keith Sweat made the decision to leave them out. It was a moment that seemed perfect for a reunion, but for some reason, it didn't happen. The fans felt that something was missing, and they didn't understand why the group wasn't included.
Oh, I forgot about the Snoop joint. Me too. Oh!
Keith Sweat, however, didn't directly explain why Kut Klose wasn't invited. One thing that sets them apart is their deep connection to their identity and their culture. They are proud to be Black women, and they know how important it is to stick together as a group. This sense of unity is what has kept them going through the years. They understand that to succeed, they must support each other and stick together through thick and thin. They are survivors, and they have learned to navigate the ups and downs of the music industry with strength and determination. There's no room for following others blindly. In Kut Klose, everyone is a leader. They respect each other and know that their bond is the key to their success. The group knows that when it comes to Black women in the music industry, there are challenges, but they are not afraid to face them head on. They believe in the power of unity and support. They know that when they come together and understand each other, things become much easier. This is why Kut Klose will continue to thrive. They are a strong, unbreakable group, and they have no plans to go anywhere anytime soon. Their loyalty to each other is what sets them apart from many other groups, and it's a big reason why they have lasted as long as they have.
You guys have been so supportive after all these years of the Surrender album, and you have been telling us that, hey, we're ready to hear some new music from Kut Klose. So that's what we're trying to do, but we need you guys to pitch in and help us out.
In a recent interview, the members of the girl group Kut Klose shared their thoughts on their career. When asked about the direction of the new music, they explained that they are trying to find a balance. They want to surprise their audience with something new while still keeping some of the classic sound that their fans love. They want to make sure their music feels both modern and familiar, capturing the essence of their past while moving forward. One interesting topic that came up was the role of the lead singer. It's common in some groups for one person to take the lead, and in Kut Klose, one of the members often sings lead. The group members were asked why this happens. They shared that sometimes there's a natural connection with a certain voice. They explained that it wasn't about insecurity or competition, but rather about what works best for the group's sound. They mentioned that the lead singer just happens to be the one whose voice fits the group's vibe at that moment. Kut Klose also discussed how the music industry has changed over the years. They mentioned that the industry has moved away from physical records like CDs and is now more focused on digital music. This shift has made it easier for artists to distribute their music. Before, artists had to go through record companies and deal with high costs for producing and selling music. Now, with digital distribution, the process is much simpler and cheaper. Fans can easily download or stream music online, which has made it easier for artists to reach their audience.